President of Kazakhstan is on a two-day working visit in Almaty. During his visit, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev took part in a meeting to discuss about metropolis development. He also talked about digital transformation of the city, development of infrastructure, as well as tourism and services industries. The head of state said that Almaty has become a large regional center. Almaty and Nur-Sultan account for 1/3 of the country's GDP. Over the years of independence, Almaty has turned into a large economic center and contributed to the Republican budget. The city makes up 1/5 of the GDP and contributes more than 20% of the revenue to the state budget. Local media reports that 2 people died and 40 were injured after a strong earthquake struck the southern Philippines. The tremor of 6.6 magnitude was recorded in the southern part of the Mindanao Island. People from nearby cities have been evacuated. Wildfires continue in Los Angeles since the beginning of October. Authorities have announced the evacuation of Brentwood area, where famous celebrity homes are located. Actor and former state governor Arnold Schwarzenegger wrote on Twitter that he had to leave his house at 3 a.m. According to official data, the fire burned 200 hectares of forest and nearly 100 buildings in California. Protests continue in Barcelona. This time, demonstrators tried to block access to the railway station. Supporters of the Catalan independence protest against the court decision on the case of 12 Catalan politicians who advocated for a referendum of the independence of the autonomous territory. Nearly 700 people took part in the protests. The trade turnover between Kazakhstan and Switzerland has amounted to $1.5 billion for the 8th month of 2019. The countries will increase volumes of mutual trade and strengthen bilateral cooperation in all areas. This has been agreed by the parties at the 10th meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission on the Trade and Economic Cooperation in Berlin. Kazakhstan is interested in Switzerland's experience and achievements in development of chemical and pharmaceutical industries, as well as aviation, logistics, machinery, engineering, IT technologies and tourism.
Торгово-экономические взаимоотношения Казахстана со Швейцарией.
Trade and economic relations between Kazakhstan and Switzerland are developing quite actively throughout the years of independence. We had an agreement that the main work of our Intergovernmental Commission will be desaturation of our trade turnover with non-raw materials and processed products. We formed a list of 103 products which can increase our export to $500 million more, together with our exporters.
Дополнить наш экспорт еще на $500 миллионов.
The countries have reached certain results in investment over the years of cooperation. The influx of Swiss fund in Kazakhstan has amounted to $47.5 billion for the last 14 years. The investments were made in various industries such as financial services, electronics, energy, as well as chemical and pharmaceuticals.
A very good basis. We have a good exchange in terms of trade. Switzerland is the third most important investment partner of Kazakhstan. So we are an important investor in Kazakhstan. There are about 40 companies active, Swiss companies active in Kazakhstan.
In which spheres?
In different spheres, mainly in some in production, in transports, also in pharmaceutical areas, and in the financial sector. Also in agriculture, we have some interests. We know that Kazakhstan will be an important producer of meat for China, and we are looking for cooperation with Kazakhstan in the field of meat production, of the quality of meat production and of genetics.
Kazakhstan's trade with border regions of Russia amounted to about $2 million since the beginning of the year. Experts said that the value has not reached the target. Higher value is able to be achieved by increasing the number of joint productions. The partnership will provide a positive effect on the acceleration of the Eurasian Economic Union integration.
Как только у нас будут единые...
If we will have a common supranational norm of participation in the public procurement system of the two countries, that will give us the highest growth in the trade turnover indicator. Meanwhile, specialized trading warehouses are planned to be opened in Kazakhstan and Russia in order to facilitate the promotion of goods. If the project is launched, domestic products could be sold in many regions of Russia. The market will also expand for Russian manufacturers. Kazakhstan plans to increase the number of exports to nearly 80 types of products. The main exports that will be sold to Russia include metallurgical products, chemical products, food, and many others. Kazakhstan is increasing export in electronic commerce. Local entrepreneurs are learning the modern methods of commerce. Batir Serik is taking advantage of the e-commerce. He sold his first batch of meat to Iran through popular internet platform introduced by a Chinese entrepreneur. Currently, he continuously receives orders from customers. The local meat and canned food are in demand in the markets of China and Iran.
Заказов очень много. У нас сейчас спрос идет с Саудовской Аравии.
There are a lot of orders. Honey and rainbow trout are currently in demand in Saudi Arabia. We put it on the online market, took several Kazakh companies as a basis, along with their product and certificate. There is a demand in the market.
Взяли их продукты, сертификаты. На рынке существует спрос.
Electronic platforms are used to work and communicate directly with customers and other businesses. Since it is based on B2B program, entrepreneurs are also able to purchase large volume of products via online. Kazakh Ministry of Trade and Integration, together with National Chamber of Entrepreneurs, will support local entrepreneurs in the promotion of products on internet platforms. The first step will be awarding Gold Supplier Certificate to 50 companies on the largest foreign sales website. Promising and competitive participants will be determined during the survey. Employees of 150 companies will also be trained to work with the electronic commerce platforms at the site of the National Chamber. Kyrgyzstan is improving the access to the World Wide Web and actively introducing digital technologies. Digital Casa project supported by the World Bank is being implemented. The goal of the project is to expand broadband networks and integrate Kyrgyzstan in regional and the global digital economy. Experts said that, first of all, the project provides access to qualitative electronic state services as well as opportunity to improve qualification in this area up to creation of the new workplaces. $50 million was allocated for the project implementation.
В рамках проекта Digital Casa
Modernization and construction of trunk network lines of fiber optic communication are provided as part of the Digital Casa project. We have the external direct trunk network lines with Kazakhstan and China. We also have to think about our neighbors, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. These lines will be created in the territory of Jalalabad region.
прокладываться как раз на территории Джалалабадской области.
Практикалық жағын айтып кетсек, мисал үшін...
In terms of practical use, the project implementation will provide using state services through mobile application without leaving home, as well as without going to other countries. For example, the registration of children in kindergarten and school. The project is created for both young and older people.
Тіркеме арқылы мемлекеттік қызматтарды ала алышады.
Akmeshit Cave, which is one of the largest in Central Asia, is becoming a center of attraction for tourists from all over the world. Each year, nearly 70,000 visitors from different parts of the world travel to the region. The travelers are attracted by the picturesque area and unique environment. The origin of the cave is associated with tectonic processes that occurred millions of years ago. The area is more than 1 hectare. It is unique that there is not a single shrub on the surface within a radius of several kilometers, but there is an oasis inside the cave.
Çok güzel, çok mutlu oldum.
Kazakhstan is the homeland of our ancestors. I've always dreamed of visiting this place. I found out about this cave from a TV program. Now I have the opportunity to eyewitness this unique place. In Turkey, we also have such places, but they are man-made. This cave is created by nature, and this makes it so unique. Experts said that a special project is being developed to create comfortable conditions and infrastructure for easy access for travelers. Within 9 months, nearly 60 to 70,000 people visited this cave. Previously, the part of the territory around the cave was rented. Today, that land has been returned to the state. In the future, a hotel and a restaurant of national cuisine are expected to be built nearby. Undoubtedly, the new infrastructure will contribute to tourism development. Experts highlighted that the majority of tourists who visited the historical cave are from the CIS countries Europe and Asia. Saksaul trees are known to protect the soil from erosion and as a result affect the climate. Rare earth metal rhenium was discovered by scientists in the sprouts of the steppe tree. The Kazakh Institute of Botany and Phytointroduction claimed that rhenium is considered to be one of the most sought after and expensive chemical element globally. It is used in chemical and aircraft manufacturing industries as well as in the production of electronic devices.
Он только в недрах земли содержится, но тут они
The metal is found not only in deep underground but also on the surface of the land where it has been found. The amount of the chemical element is not that large. However, the amount is not important for scientific purposes since it has been found only inside the bowels of the earth. This is a very rare metal which belongs to the expensive platinum group.
металл очень дорогой платиновой группы.
Researchers said that other features of the desert trees are not thoroughly researched. They also said that it is possible to create medicines from Saksaul trees.
Дело в том, что саксаул содержит в своих побегах алкалоиды.
Saksaul sprouts contain alkaloids, which can be used as medicine for medical conditions such as high blood pressure. So far, this has been used only in traditional medicine.
Но это пока только в народной медицине используется.
Researchers highlighted that in addition to the main functions of Saksaul, such as forest formation and protection from desertification, the trees are also a natural habitat for many animals and birds. Biologists highlighted that an extension of a moratorium on removing the trees will have a beneficial effect on the environment of the entire region. A list of unique buildings and structures is being created in Almaty. Contribution to the preservation of the history of the city is open to the public. Proposals on a particular building can be submitted on the website of the City Administration and Urban Development under the section of Catalogue of Unique Buildings. At the moment, more than 130 historical and architectural buildings and structures are included in the official list. Of course, this number is small. There are a lot of historical buildings in the city center. Each building belongs to a particular era. This list should be prolonged in order to preserve the architecture of the past time.
Сақтап қалу үшін сондай кешенді құрылыстарды кіргізу жоспарда бар.
The project has just begun. A team of professional architects and enthusiasts, R-Code Almaty, has proposed 757 buildings to be included in the list as historically valuable. Currently, all the buildings added to the heritage list are chosen based on the criteria of UNESCO. Therefore, the topic is a separate discussion. We created a map of the city and then found out which buildings were related to the Soviet era. Famous architectural buildings in Almaty, which are the must-visit places in the city, have been added into the list of historical and cultural monuments of the Republican and local importance. The buildings include the Kazakhstan Hotel, the Palace of the Republic, the Palace of School Children, and the building of the circus. Nur Sultan hosted a concert dedicated to the 80th anniversary of the famous poetess Fariza Ongarsinova. Her creativity is considered as one of the brilliant pages in the history of Kazakh culture. Astana Sazi Ethno-Folklore Ensemble also performed a bright musical evening for the author. The concert program involved beloved works of Fariza Ongarsinova as well as the original songs of modern musicians.
Бүгінгі кеш халық ақыны, қазақ ақыны, халық жазушысы Фариза.
We dedicated our concert to the 80th anniversary of the great Kazakh poetess, folk writer Fariza Ongarsinova. The concert program included the best of her works. Performance of traditional songs such as Yerbolat Shaldibekov, Kunsulu Turikben, and many others also performed at the event, besides the Astana Sazi Ensemble.
Дәстүрлі әншілеріміз Ерболат Шалдыбек, Күнсұлу Түрікпен сынды әнші ағаларымыз, өзіміздің әріптестеріміз сахнада бүгін өнер көрсететін болады.